Hi, welcome to our video tutorial. In this tutorial we'll see what are variables and what are the data types we have in Python. So variables are just uh, reservations of a memory space, usually or random access memory, to store values. Okay, the values being stored in a variable is always temporary. As long as that project or that application is running, we have stored the value in those variables. But the moment we close or we terminate the application, all the variables are going to be erased. So these are temporary storages called variables. So we can define a lot of variable. Since Python is an interpreter, we don't have to explicitly define its data type. Okay. What we can do is, so let's create a new Python file, variables and data types. Here I can say name equals brackets and print name. Okay, let's run our application. Oops. Okay, let's run our specific file. See, gives me brackets, which means I have created a variable called name. Since I have stored a string variable in a string data into the variable data type is automatically going to be string. Okay, so it's an interpreter like JavaScript. So it's not same as JavaScript. It's way beyond that. But since it's an interpreter like it, we can define any type of variable without explicitly defining its data type. The moment we store a value to it, it will automatically define its data type. Okay, so I can create, and here I can say age. So I can create any variable I want the moment I want it. Okay, so this is how to create variables. Now when we create a variable, we have about 5 standard data types we can use. We don't have to specify or explicitly define its data type, but still our variable types can be of 5 major standard data types. Okay, those are, we can create numbers, strings, list, and also tuple. Tuple is like a list but of fixed size. Okay, like it's a constant variable. It's a list but it's constant list. We don't have to, or we can't play with it. We can't change any of the values. And the last one, the fifth one, is dictionary. Okay, so we'll see each of them by example. Okay, so let's delete this code. And first, let's see numbers. Okay, numbers are just number variables are just like storing numeric values. It can be a integer, it can be a decimal number or floating number. It doesn't matter. Okay, I can create age equal to 30. Okay, taxi fare equal to 4.6. Okay, doesn't matter. These are all considered as numbers. Okay, so how about strings? In case of strings, we have a little bit complications. Like we can define, let's say, full name. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong in spelling. Let's say full name is Monica Geller. So now I can pick which character to display. Okay, let's see. print. Okay, our variable name is full name. As you can see, PyCharm provides me a basic type of IntelliSense, so it's very much helpful. Let's see, print full name. Let's run our application. So the full name is printed. Now, what if I want the first 6 letters, only the first name? Okay, so print full name. Then I can specify from where to where. Okay, like from 0 to, use colon, to 5. Now let's run it. See, Monique, 5 characters, right? Start from 0 and show me 5 characters. Now I want 6 characters, so I'll make this one 6. Now the first one prints the whole full name. The second one only prints the 6 characters. Okay, here it doesn't have to start from 0. I can start from wherever I want, as long as the data we have supports that request. Okay, now full name start from point 4 and go until point 6. Okay, if I don't give this one, then what will happen is it will go till the end. Okay, starts from CA and goes till the end. So I don't provide the end point for it. Okay, so this is about strings. One more thing, what if I want to concatenate something in the full name? Like if I want to say welcome Monica Geller, then let's say welcome Monica, then I'll use this one to print out only Monica. So it will say welcome, then it will concatenate the 2 strings. Let's run our application. See, welcome Monica. So these are few implementations of our string variables. Okay, so let's go to Python lists. How to implement lists. Lists are important because we can store list of record in a single variable. Let's say we have 5 students and we want to capture their name. So without list, what we are going to do is we have to create 5 variables with variable name full name 1, full name 2, full name 3, full name 4, and full name 5. So it's going to be bulky and it's going to be difficult to manage because we are going to have a lot of variables. Rather, when we use list, I'll only define a variable full names. I make it plural so that just to notify or to imply that I'm going to store more than one value. So here I can say brackets, comma, another record I can enter. It doesn't have to be full, it doesn't have to be string too. I can store numbers here, but since my variable name is full names, I'm giving full string names only. Okay. And the 5th one. There you go. Now, if I print full names, let's see what will happen. See? It printed the entire list. Now, what if I want to print only Jack? This is where the trick comes. It's treated like list, so that I can tell this is your starting point and this is your ending point. So show me everything in the middle. But rather, I can also say, if I want to display Jack, then 0, 1, 2, indexing mostly indexing starts with 0 in most of the programming languages. So now it's showing me Barakat because the first member is Barakat. Now to see Jack, 0, 1, 2. So third number is indexed 2. Now when we run our application, we'll get Jack. Okay, it's not a concatenated string. It's not one variable. It's a list of data, but I can still access it using string indexing. Like start from 2, and it will give me all the members starting from Jack. Okay, this is how we use lists. Okay, so let's see one more thing from list. Print full names, and if I say full names times 2, let's see what it will do. Okay, see, this is our last result. What it does is it displays the entire list twice. Okay, if I say 3, it will display the list 3 times. Okay, we can use those functions in lists. Okay, so let's see about tuples. Tuples is it's written like this. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly. So what it does is it's exactly like list, but it's a fixed list. Okay, we can't add or we can't modify anything from that list. Okay, so it's like a constant variable, but with lists, with multiple elements. So it's exactly the same as its working style, but the only thing different is how it's being declared. So let's define a variable called friends, and in case of tuples, we have to use parentheses, not bracket. Okay, so in here I can define the names. Okay, so this is how we define tuples, and we can print friends easily. There you go. The list is being displayed. The only thing different is how we defined the list. The list uses brackets, and tuples uses parentheses. And also the other properties, tuples is a list, but it's a static or it's a constant list. It cannot be modified. Okay, so let's see dictionary. So dictionary is the same as lists, but when we use lists, we are accessing the data or list of data using indexes. Okay, but in case of dictionary, we're going to have a key value pair. Okay, it's exactly the same as manual dictionary. Okay, you search for a key or a variable and you'll get a definition for it. Okay, so it's exactly the same, but when we try to store any value, let's say number details, I don't know if it's an appropriate name, but what I want to do is I'll create an empty variable and number details of 1 is 1. Okay, number details of 3 equals 3. Now let's try to print number details. See, this is our detail. This is our dictionary data. If we want to access the value 1, I have to tell Python that I want the value 1 which is being accessed, so the key value is this one. We can use this in other ways, like number details. For, and here I can write detailed description, like when we use dictionary, we put a single word and we'll write a description for that specific word, right? So we have a definition here. Now let's print the value. Now see, this is the key, this is the value, this is the key, this is the value, this is the key, this is the value. So if you want to access the value, you have to provide the key, not the index like we did in list. So if I want to see this value, then I have to provide the value, the key 4. Okay, so let's do this, and in here the value is 4. Now let's see. See, now I'm only seeing this value. So it's a key value pair. This is the key, this is the value. Okay. Now it works exactly like dictionary, and we can store any value like as we want. It's a dynamic list. We can add or remove any element from the list. Okay. So this is these are the 5 standard data types in Python. And since we have data types, I mean, we're not explicitly specifying the data type of each variable, but when we assign a value to the variable, like when I'm assigning this value to this variable is defined to have a data type. Python will provide the data type to this variable because of the data. Since the data is tuples data, then this variable's type is tuples. So if we want to further use those variables, sometimes we need to convert from one data type to the other data type to do some calculations or comparisons or whatever else. Okay, so I think this tutorial is going to be a little more a little bigger, so I think we have to stop here. We'll see data type conversions in another video. So in this video, what we have seen is we have seen what is variables and how can we define variables, and also what are the data types being available in Python, and we'll try to describe each of them with examples. So I hope it's clear. If you have any questions or comments or suggestions, please don't hesitate to write them in the comment section below. And also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you'll get notifications on upcoming video tutorials. Thank you.